Hello. Um, so, um, I've been wanting to make this video all day long. I've been fighting back tears all day long, Um, just waiting to get off of work so I could come here and sit and get it all out. And now I don't know how to start the video. I don't know where to go to because I've been so all over the spectrum today. But the tears that I've been holding back have all been tears of joy. I feel like today my perspective shifted. Things changed. I guess it's hard to not explain things. Okay, so 2 days ago, obviously I was in hell. Made that real clear in my last video, and anybody that reached out to me, I kind of just vented a lot to them, and I feel like God was having people contact me, the way my dad and Jordy contacted me. God was trying to show himself through other people, and I was taking advantage of it, because I was venting and I was letting everybody know how fucking shitty things are going right now. And one of those people ended up being Emily. 2 nights ago when I made my last video, I prayed out of spite, like it's been, and I was honestly pleading with God, in a very angry way, to just show me what you are, show me who you are, show me what you're about, and I'd say maybe 5 to 10 minutes later, I was going to bed, and my phone rings, and I open it expecting it to be my boy Eric, and Emily had sent me a voicemail. And so anyway, long story short, I ended up sending her one back, and my voicemail was pretty much a summary of how fucking shitty the day was, because like I said, anybody that was giving me space, I was using it, because I needed it, and looking on it, I really feel like God was showing himself through the people around me. And so anyway, I left Emma a message. She never responded to me, and which I was expecting. I wasn't really expecting a response, but the following day, yesterday, was a much lighter day in comparison. I was not nearly as heavy as I was a couple days ago, and I honestly spent most of the day feeling really guilty, because I was really concerned that the message that I had left Emily had affected her day negatively. Not even her night. I mean, maybe her night, but the following day, yesterday, I was just really concerned that, my message, which had everything to do about me and nothing to do about her, but definitely not a happy one. It was a real down-ass message. I was just real concerned that it was affecting her. So all day yesterday, I was weighing the options, because giving her space is what's necessary, but at the same time, I really wanted to let her know that I was doing okay, that I was doing better, that I just didn't want her to just think I was stuck there, and so anyway, it came down to last night, and last night I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm just gonna send her another message, and I made another voicemail, and I sent it to her, and essentially letting her know, I'm doing better. I'm sorry about the day before, and I'm sorry if that affected you. And a really huge thing for me that happened yesterday is that I was just scrolling through my past videos, and I saw my first podcast that I did with her, and I just said fuck it, and I started watching it, and man, the difference between us then and us now um, is really night and day for me. And it really brought me back to a different point of view, a different perspective, a different feeling. And I was like, man, like, shit's been heavy, 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 and that's never really been the case between the two of us. And it just got me really thinking about a lot of stuff. But anyway, that really prompted me to just send her another message and let her know I'm doing better, and I haven't gotten a response or anything. And today, I went to work and I was emotional, because the more time I spend without her, without contacting her, hearing from her, stuff like that, the more it hurts, the more I feel pain, and I feel compelled to reach out or to talk with her, to say something. And yeah, so I just knew that's was gonna be the deal. I knew what was gonna happen. I knew how it was gonna go. I knew today was gonna be kind of shitty, and it's gonna kind of keep progressively getting worse until it starts picking up. But I was just, I think, praying again today, just asking God to let me know that everything's cool, that how she feels, that she's good, that everything's good, and I decided to download Instagram, and I downloaded Instagram, and the first thing that pops up was a post that she had made a day ago, and it was a snippet of a song, and the song just spoke volumes to me, and I always get so caught up on, does she still love me? And I mean in all aspects, I don't just mean romantically, I mean as a friend. I get really scared that, the less time I spend talking with her, the more she's just gonna put me in her past and she'll forget all about me. And it really causes me to panic and want to reach out and to hold on. And but listening to her song was God's answer to my prayer. And he's like, bro, don't worry. She's like, don't worry, she still loves you. That's not something you're gonna have to worry about, man. I've just had such strong emotions today, because today I feel like finally I've loosened up my grip. And I'm just starting to see so much more. I'm just starting to get more perspective on everything. It hurts to die. It hurts to die. And it's so obvious why anytime I hit that point of the cycle, I start to panic, and I freak out, and I start clenching to everything around me, because I'm fucking dying, I'm dying. Like, you can't blame me, I'm dying. um, um, and it's so hard to trust. It's hard to trust. All day today, I've had an image in my head of me driving, and I look next to me and I see God, and it's the Joker, and nigga's crazy. He's fucking crazy, and he's staring at me and he's laughing his ass off, and I'm panicking and I'm screaming and I'm dying. I'm fucking dying. And I'm like, what the fuck is your problem? What is wrong with you? Why would you laugh at me? Why aren't you helping me? And he's laughing because he... he ain't even got to say nothing. Like, it's cruel. It's cruel. It is cruel. But it's cruel because he knows I'm safe. He knows I'm okay. He knows I'm fine. Something that I thought I kept running into this morning, that was the beginning of my shift, because I kept listening back to the voicemail that I sent Emily, the most recent one, the better one, the lighter one, because it just kept making me feel good, you know, to hear myself that way, to hear how I am, and to imagine, you know, perhaps the way that she responded, internally to the voice message, you know. And I kept jumping between that and the little snippet of the song that she wrote, that, I mean, to be honest, I think she wrote it a while ago, and it's just love to me, but I feel like she wrote it a while ago because her hair is shorter. That was my girlfriend, you know, that was my girlfriend. Her hair is longer than that now, and so I feel like that's a snippet from a while ago, but it was really hard this morning, and I kept feeling like, bro, you're torturing yourself, you know. It's always the same shit. It's like, bro, you're torturing yourself, by listening to her music, by listening to voicemails, by reading old letters, by, you know, but they bring me comfort, they bring me some sort of peace, but there's always a yin to the yang, you know, and there's always pain that follows it, and I've been in this cycle for a while now, so I know what it is, you know. I know what's inevitable after I indulge in those things. I know what's gonna happen, and this morning was just real rough because, man, this job is no joke. This job is no joke. This job requires all of your attention and care and dedication. This job is a real job. I can kill somebody. I can actually change the course of my life completely with one mistake at this job. Do one thing wrong, and it could be somebody's fucking life. Like, really, it's a very serious thing to me that I'm doing, and I'm taking responsibility for this. And not only is it dangerous, but it's fucking complicated, and there's so many steps and so many things that you have to pay attention to, and every single step matters. This isn't like fucking up an order at Taco Bell or Cafe Rio. You can't just make another one. Like, if you miss a step, you could seriously injure yourself or seriously injure somebody else. Like, it's not a joke. This job is not a joke to me at all. Like, I'm taking it super seriously because this is real. Like, every day I go in, I have more risk of killing somebody than I ever have in my entire life, and that's every day. Um, so anyway, I'm still training and I'm trying to pay attention, and this job requires so much mental capacity. This whole entire job is mental. The whole thing is all mentally taxing. It's got nothing to do with hard labor. It has everything to do with using this properly and making sure to do things correctly and to be paying constant attention to every single detail, from the second you get there to the second you leave. And these are 10-hour days, 12-hour days, 14-hour days, 16-hour days. Like, it's a lot, you know. And today was my first day that I would consider. I've driven now 3 times. The first time was barely doing anything. It was figuring out how to shift. The second time, I was taking just a regular dump truck back and forth from one spot to another, but it was fairly close. And the second time was doing the same thing. And this time, for the first time, I was taking a dump truck with a pup attached, which is like an additional extended trailer. And man, the thing is like, I don't know. I think it's like 100 feet long. Like it's long. It's a huge truck. And today my trainer was like, "Bro, you're gonna be driving like pretty much the whole time." And mind you, my first time ever driving on the freeway was my second time driving, and that was with just the truck. And now I'm going from this to this now. And I'm driving on the freeway and I'm taking loads and all kind of stuff. So I just knew it was going to be a lot. And I wasn't there. I just was not there at all. I was so occupied emotionally and mentally. I, let alone driving. I didn't want to be at work. I didn't have it in me to do it. But it is what it is, you know. This is it. This is what responsibility is. This is what life is, you know. So anyway, I was just struggling, and I was struggling to shift my perspective because you know, I feel a lot lighter than I did a couple days ago, but I'm still dealing with the guilt that I felt from yesterday, and concerned with Emily and myself and what to do with my emotions. And anyway, a thought that really kind of kept triggering me to cry was that it hit me that God knows what He's doing. Like, God knows what He's doing. It's not just trust God, but He knows what He's doing. Like, He knows what He's doing. He's not just fucking around. He's not trying to hurt me. He is. I'm just thinking of all the things that I asked God for, especially in my relationship with Emily. And I know God loves me. I know God has my best intentions at heart. I know God has more in store for me than what I can picture, what I can imagine, you know. And it really just hit me today, and it kept striking a chord that God knows what He's doing. Like, nigga knows, you know. There's a reason He's looking at me, smiling ear to ear, not saying a word to me, because He knows. Like, not He thinks, not He's planning. No, He knows. Like, it hit me coming home today. Like, what if God isn't even a master manipulator? What if God isn't the one that makes things happen, forces things to happen? But what if God knows every equation? What if God is the master mathematician, and he knows what equations to run to get what outcomes? It's not even that he's like, no, I'm gonna make it this way. Things are gonna happen exactly like this. Fuck you. This is what's gonna happen. What if God is like, bro, you asked me for all of this shit. This is the equation that we have to run in order for you to get everything that you are asking from me. It hurts to die. It hurts to die. But today I have seen more. I've gotten the bigger picture, and God isn't just killing me to kill me. God understands. It's like I'm in a glass of water, and I ask God for more water. I ask God for more. I ask God for specific things, and God's like, okay, but that means, bro, we gotta pour you into something bigger. Like, it's gonna hurt. You're gonna go from being full to feeling empty again. But that's because we need to create more space in order to fill you up more, you know? And I'm over here holding on to my glass like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you trying to hurt me? And he's like, I'm not. I'm giving you what you want. I'm giving you what you want. But man, that means you gotta let go of this. You gotta let go of this. I can't fit all your blessings into this, man. If you want more blessings, you need to get out of where you are, out of your comfort zone. I know you've made peace with this glass, but if you want more, I gotta pour you into something bigger than you, man. And that realization just, I've been so grateful today. Because I think I understand what he's doing. I asked for a lot of things back in my relationship. A lot of things. And God told me I could have He told me it was possible. He said you could do this. He said you can have it, man. And and then Emily broke up with me, you know. And then slowly things started changing. Things started getting more difficult. I was becoming more uncertain, and it seemed as though God was taking me off of the path that I needed to be on to get to the blessings that I was asking him for. And I started panicking, and I can't blame myself. I'm not upset with myself. I don't hate myself because of it, because it's scary, you know. I had my relationship with God, and it was so good. It was so tight. I felt like he and I were in sync, and you know, I started praying, and slowly but surely my path started changing, and the further and further I got away from what I wanted, being with Emily, having a family, having kids, the further that I was getting away from that, the less I was trusting God, because I'm like, you're going the wrong way. You're not, where are you taking me, man? Like, you told me I could have that. You told me I could get there. You said so. Like, you promised, man. You made it so clear that I can have it. I can have it. I've never heard you more clearly in my entire life than for those four months that I was as close to you as possible. Like, you told me every single day, just keep going, just keep going. You can have it. It's yours. If you want it badly enough, you'll get it. Like, oh. And I stopped trusting him. And my tendency is that when things start to go in the opposite direction, I clench, I squeeze, I hold on, I try my hardest to keep it, to keep going where it is that I think I need to go, you know. I'm looking at the end result, and I'm saying it's obvious the way that you get there is by going through this path. So why are you taking me someplace else, you know? Um and now I understand, and this morning really just hit me. I mean, seeing my podcast with M, God, we love each other so much. We fucking love each other. Like, we've always loved each other so much. And we used to be so light, and she loved being around me because I gave her space, and I still do give her space. But I mean, the podcast itself was so damning. Like, it's first podcast is her telling me about her previous relationship to me, and we were just friends, so I was totally okay hearing her and helping her out. And God, if it wasn't word for word, bar for bar, telling me what it is that I did to fuck up my relationship with her, like, uh, it might as well have been a direct message to me, because everything I'm like, bruh, she told us already in the past what the deal is with her, and I've been knowing, I've known, and I've tried to give her what she needs throughout our entire relationship. But her avoidant tendencies trigger my insecure and what's it called, anxious tendencies, which is something that we knew, that we discovered and we're trying to navigate in our relationship, is that the closer I get to her, the further she pulls back, and the further I pull back, the closer she'll get to me, and towards the end of our relationship, I was just seeing how much things were changing, and it was causing me to get closer and closer and closer until I was suffocating her and really just taking up all of the space, because I was horrified of losing her, and I mean, these are, again, like, the perspective is just so eye-opening to me. And I always say it's different when you're in it, because you don't see it, you're going through it, you don't see it. But it's my boy Jordy. You don't see it because you're in it. But man, if that wasn't the lesson over and over and over again that God was trying to get me to grasp, that God is trying to teach me with everything, because I mean, this I don't fault myself. Didn't nobody teach me this? I've been a little baby boy. I've been a little toddler inside of me forever, and nobody has taught me how to let go and what letting go brings you, to me, I've just lost everything in my life, always, constantly, forever. Nothing ever stays, nothing ever holds put, ever. And it's because I'm constantly, always grasping, because nobody has taught me that in order to get what you need, in order to get what you want, you have to let it go. Nobody, like, to even fathom that a little kid could grasp that concept, you know. But let alone now a little kid that's 25 years old, 25-year-old little child that still doesn't understand that principle of the universe, because it is ass backwards. It does not make no sense. It doesn't make sense, but that's because the key ingredient, the catalyst to making this equation work is trust. It's trust. You all day today I've been thinking about a scene in Finding Nemo, one of my favorites, you know, and it's a scene I forgot about, but a clip that I saw maybe a week back, 2 weeks back, and it was way too painful for me to see on Instagram, because pretty much everything on my Instagram has to do with letting go and flowing with the universe, and that's all it feeds me, which just tortures me, especially in a state that I was in the last couple of weeks. But it's the scene where Marlin and Dory are inside of the whale, and they're, you know, the tongue is up, and Marlin is holding on to the tongue, and he's holding on to Dory, and he's freaking out. He's like, how, like, what am I supposed to do? And Dory's saying, let me go. And he's like, I can't let you go. And she's like, I think you have to. And he's like, how do I know that everything's gonna be okay if I let you go? How do I know? And she says, you don't. She says, you don't. You don't. You don't. You just gotta trust it. You don't. And Dory let go. Dory let go. and she was gone. And it came down to Marlin letting go. He closes his eyes and he just fucking lets go. And letting go is the only way that they're gonna get out of the whale, because it ends up spitting them right out. You know? I've been thinking about that all day today. And you know, it's true. You don't know. You don't know. It takes trust. It takes fucking trust. And I gotta look at this psycho nigga that's next to me, smiling his ass off and laughing hard as hell. And I feel like he's laughing at me, but he's not laughing at me. He's laughing at love. He's laughing because he knows. He knows. He knows. Nigga knows. And I've been thinking, you know, another little post that I saw on Instagram, you know, maybe a few days ago, a week, whatever, was saying something like, I can't remember, but it was something like, you know, God already knows, but he's not going to tell you because he doesn't want to spoil it. He doesn't want to ruin it. And I looked through the comments and everybody's like, nigga, ruin it. Tell me now. And I was like, yes, tell me now. Spare me pain. Spare me pain, man. Spare me the pain. Because I'm hurting. I'm in pain. You would do so much for me to just give me security, to give me assurance, to let me know, to just give me a nudge and tell me, yes, the answer to your question, yes, you'll be fine, everything's gonna be good. Just tell me. I've been thinking today about that, and you know something I fucking hate? I fucking hate it. I fucking hate it. I hate spoilers, bro. I mean, look at this. Look at my movies. Look at my movies. I love movies. I love movies. Whenever a movie comes out that I care to see, I go immediately. Not opening day, because I like to be alone. I'll try to go on like a Sunday, you know, or during the week, at like whatever 10 a.m. or some shit. Why? Because I like to be alone. I like to have my full experience, be immersed in what it is that I'm watching, and I cannot handle spoilers, because to me I feel like I pick spoilers apart. You give me one piece of a puzzle of 1,000 pieces, and I feel like I'm able to map out a section of the movie. That's why I rarely watch trailers, because I'm like, I feel like I'm too smart for this shit. I'm like, I'll be able to piece shit together too easily, and I'm like, well, I know where the movie's going. I know where it's going. I don't want that for me. I hate when that happens. Why? Because I love watching a movie and being able to have my own reaction, being able to go through it and experience it myself without having it be tainted by any preconceived notions I have or any expectations that I have of the movie. And I'm here thinking about it, and I'm like, he's fucking crazy, and niggas laughing his head off, and I'm just like, fuck you. Like, I always get to that point where I'm about to die, where we're about to fucking crash, that I give up and I just start cussing him out, because I'm like, fuck you, bro. Like, fuck you. I thought you loved me. I thought you cared about me. You don't want to help me for shit, bro. You don't want to help me for shit. And all he's doing is sitting there cackling, laughing his ass off. And I, of course, take it personally. You're laughing at me. Like, you see my panic and you're laughing at me, man. Like, I thought you loved me. You ain't no friend of mine. But he knows. He knows what will happen, and he knows that it'll be a million times better when I'm surprised by it, when I experience it myself, when I go through it. That's gonna make the experience worth it, you know? So yeah, I'm dying. Yeah, I'm fucking dying. The same way that in a really, really good movie, you are in chaos, you know? It's all over the place. Your emotions are everywhere. You're like, what the fuck is about to happen next, bro? But the fact that you're not that invested because it ain't happening to you is what makes the difference. But this is my movie. This is my movie. If anybody's gonna care the most, if anybody's gonna really want that excitement, that rush that I'm going through, it's me, you know? This has been a real roller coaster of a day. Today, I, again, I shed like 3 tears this morning. And then the rest, I have just been keeping my head up to let my eyes reabsorb it all, because I knew I was going to be here at the end of the day, and you know, work is work, and I'm not trying to break down. Although my trainer's cool, and my trainer's cool, and he would definitely talk to me about stuff, I'm like, I want to be here. I want to be doing this, you know, so I'm saving it. But all day today, I have just been filled with appreciation, with love, with gratitude, because I did a really, really good job at work today. Um, after coming to these realizations in the morning, when it came time, because my trainer wanted me to start driving immediately, and I told him, can you just take the first load so that way I know what it looks like, and then we'll swap off, and he said sure. And you know, throughout those first 2 hours or so, was the time that I was listening to M's music, and I was listening to the voicemails, and I was really just trying to contemplate and figure out what I'm supposed to do with my emotions, how I'm supposed to deal with this. And that's when the realizations began hitting me, you know, that God knows what he's doing. Like, he knows what he's doing. I can't emphasize how much that thought was really impacting me, that God knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. Like, he knows. Bro knows. So anyway, it came time for us to swap. And I asked my trainer, I was all like, bro, just pull over, let me go to the bathroom real quick. And I went into the bathroom, and I was just inside of an outhouse, you know. But I sat down on the toilet, and I just put my hand, or my hat in my hands, and I prayed to God for help. And I just said, man, help me understand, help give me perspective. just help me, you know, um, to do something about how I feel right now. Give me anything, you know. And I get out and, you know, I wipe my couple of tears that I let myself have, and I came up to the truck, and my trainer was all like, take it in a second. Let me get us to the next spot, and after the next spot, I'll let you have it. And so I got back in the passenger seat, and I pulled up Audible, and I went to Letting Go, which is my Bible. And for me, you know, a lot of times, I mean, almost always, I'd say 85% of the time, listening to Letting Go shifts my perspective like that. Like, um, but I have to be in the mindset to want to feel better, you know. Because if I'm not in the mindset to want to feel better, to try and get myself in a better place, then I'm not gonna hear it. I'm not trying to hear it, you know. I'm not trying to hear no uplifting, positive, motivational, da da da. I'm not there for that, you know. But I pulled up Letting Go, and as is extremely common to the point where it does not baffle me at all. Like, it does not surprise me ever now. Whenever I pull up Letting Go, and I'll hit play, and it starts giving me exactly what I need right there. Exactly. It'll be the exact chapter, the exact point in the chapter every fucking time. So of course I was like, okay, well, let's see. And I pulled up Letting Go, and I hit I hit I hit play, and it started playing, and I restarted the chapter a minute, and it was the chapter on expectations. And I was all like, okay, all right, you know, duh, you know. And I just realized, you know, listening to the chapter, and the chapter wasn't even that long. It was really only, I think, 4 minutes or so, and it's a chapter I've listened to a lot, and it's a chapter that uses a story, or an example. What's it called? An anecdote? Is that how you use it? Um, that I don't even really particularly like. Like, it's not even my favorite, you know, story that proves the point of the chapter. But it was just the first 2 minutes, minute and a half, um, that I was just like, I was like, there's my key. There's my key. The me that needs to die, the me that is limited, um, has has everything to do with the expectations that I have been setting. Um, as much as I love myself, as much as I care about myself and the character that I created, and who I am right now and where I am right now, um, I realize that along with that comes baggage. And for me, that baggage is the accumulating expectations that I have been collecting over the course of this iteration and evolution of my life, of this point of my season. Um, and, you know, it happens unknowingly, you know, and the true beauty behind my my relationship with Emily, um, in the beginning, was that God was there. God was all over it, everywhere, and the thing that was not there was any expectations. It was my mantra. It was my motto to constantly tell Emily, I'm just trusting it. We're just trusting. I'm just trusting it. And I look back, you know, I'm just thinking right now, and I'm like, yeah, a lot of that shit was like fucked up, and you know, the path that I wanted to be on would deviate all the time, and I'd be like, in my head, this isn't how you get there. This isn't how you get there. But I didn't have that expectation. I wasn't setting that precedent that I needed things to go a way, you know. And without that barrier of expectation, God was allowed to roam freely and take control and do what it is that he would do. And there would never be any disappointment on my end because I didn't have any expectations that I was setting. Um, Man, I'm just thinking, fuck, I love Emily. I love her with all my heart. I always have, I always will. Um, and listening yesterday to the old podcast, um, I mean, I really only listened to the first 20 minutes of the hour podcast because after that I was like, okay, enough. Like, enough. I can't take this enough. How, like, it's like nails on a chalkboard listening to it because of the fact that I'm like every pothole she warned me about in that video, I stepped in every single one, every one of them, and it all had to do because I it's almost as if I was sliding on ice, and I was overcorrecting my shit, whereas in the past, in the first 4 of the 5 months of our relationship, the whole thing was fucking sliding on ice. Everything was sliding on ice. But the whole time I was all like, I'm good. I'm good. I don't know, but we're supposed to be sliding on ice right now. Um, but the more that I began to build the expectation of what my relationship should look like with Emily, of where we should end up, where we should go, what it is that I want, the more that I would begin to panic every time that things would slip and they would slide. And it got to the point where things were slipping and sliding so much, but I was lacking the trust that my expectations were, I guess, not allowing. Um, that I started jerking on the fucking wheel, trying to get control of the car, trying to make sure that we would go straight. And the harder that I would yank on the steering wheel, the more we would slide one way, the harder I would pull it, till I burned myself the fuck out, and I am just lost in a world of oblivion and chaos, thinking that I am in danger, as opposed to being lost in that same world, knowing that I'm okay. Um, man, um, yeah, it really opened my eyes. It opened my eyes so much, to the pitfalls, and like I said, I know, like, I've been in, oh, it stings. I've been in a relationship with Emily. I have deviated and come back to that realization that I'm setting expectations on her, that I'm putting pressure on her, and the way that she operates, and the way that everybody operates. I mean, that's what the chapter on expectations was speaking on, and letting go, is that the more that you put pressure on somebody to feel a certain way, the more that they will automatically go on the defensive. They will guard more and more. And the thing I really love about the chapter too is that the chapter talks about the fact that this all happens, um, subconsciously. All of this happens subconsciously. You're not doing any of this on purpose, and they're not pulling back on purpose either. It is essentially the equation that's being ran. It uses an example, of a theory called boy girl theory. Boy wants girl, girl doesn't want boy no more. Boy stops wanting girl, girl wants boy. And that's, I guess you could say, pretty on the nose for the situation, but it applies to everything. The more that you try to cling on to a situation, a person, a relationship, whatever, the more that relationship or that person or that situation feels like it needs space. It needs space. You're getting too close. You're getting too close. Um, and that's exactly how my baby works. That's exactly how she works. Like, and I know these things. I know this, but I think that this is this is the path. This is the path, because the truth of the matter is that this needs to die in me. This needs to die. And the only way to really kill this is to really face it, to really go through it, to this isn't as simple as a one day experience, as a little week long thing. No, this is rewriting the code of my soul. And it's been years, it's been a quarter of a century for me running this way with this programming. So it's going to take time and really hard work and serious dedication for me to learn this lesson. That the more I try to hold on to anything, the more I will be driving it away from me. Man, and it sucks because I'm a baby. I'm a little baby boy. I'm a little fucking kid. I'm a toddler on the inside, and you're trying to tell me that up is down and down is up. To get that to click in my head is not gonna be easy. I'm gonna have to lose everything, man, everything. But it will be worth it because in the end, I will be without this issue. I will evolve to a version of Gregory that knows how to love properly in this way. And I mean, the way, like the trajectory that I'm seeing, God is taking me to what I want. Like, I watched the video on, or I mean, I watched the podcast with me and Em, and I pick up from it that your expectations killed it, and that's something that I even forgot. That's a simple fact that I have forgotten because I'm still trying my hardest to hold on to it, to hold on to her, to. I've been horrified of letting her go, horrified, because I fear that if I let her go, she will never come back. She will never be back. She'll never be back. She'll forget me as a lover. She'll forget me as a friend. I'm horrified. And so because of that fact, I am trying my best to keep myself with her in any possible way. And the video yesterday, watching it, I learned you are killing your best friend. You are killing the love of your life. You are suffocating her, and you are drowning her, and you are like, you're killing her, and you're doing it unconsciously. But that doesn't change the fact that I'm suffocating her. I'm snuffing out the flame itself. And it's because I keep trying to keep the flame going instead of letting the flame just be. And then this morning, hopping on Instagram and seeing her song, said everything. I mean, unless she magically found a new boyfriend immediately and whatever, and again, like, I can even tell that that's not the case because it's not her now in that video. It's her. It was my girlfriend that was singing that song because of her hair. Her hair was shorter. I know that hair. That was my girl, you know. And the fact that she posted it a day ago, you know, really just spoke volumes to me. And her song, I just can't even. But she says that we're just letting things unfold. She loves to waste time. We love to waste time together. We could spend all day in the house just staring at one another, and that was our whole relationship. That was the whole relationship, you know. And she said that part of her is screaming to run, but she's just letting things unfold because there's no pressure. And in the end, man, she got the most beautiful voice you'll ever hear in your life. I mean, it brings me to tears. I can't listen to her music because even if it's not necessarily a sad song, I start crying because her voice is so beautiful. But at the end of the song, she's just singing that it's true, true, it's true love. It is true. It's so true. And that solidified to me um, that I don't need to worry about her. I don't need to worry about how she feels about me. It solidified to me that she wants to be around me. She wants to. She wants to have her friend. She wants to be around me, but I am making it so fucking difficult to be around me. Like I got all the components to the puzzle, the expectations, and then this morning getting the reassurance that, bruh, she loves you. She wants to be around you. But the last month of the relationship, all you were doing was inching closer and closer and closer because of my fears, because I'm horrified, that she ended up needing to reluctantly, honestly, like if I'm being dead honest, like she didn't she doesn't she didn't want to break up with me. I made her need to break up with me because I was killing her. I was fucking killing her, um and so those two things, having the realization that God knows what he's doing, he knows what he's doing, and then getting the perspective that I am a glass that's full that needs to be transferred in order for me to receive more, in order for me to be what it is that I asked God to be. I begged God for me to be this. Like I asked God for love, for healthy love. I asked God to help me have a family and true love, that like everything that I asked God for, and then I put that out there to him, and I was trusting him and trusting him and trusting him, and the shakier things got, the more scared I got, until I said, "Man, you don't know what the fuck you're doing." And then I tried to do it myself, and all that did was crash the fucking car, And God is still laughing. God, I fucking take the wheel, I crash that bitch, and God is laughing. Still laughing. Why? Because he knows that in order for me to get all the things I asked of God for, I needed to crash the car. He's still giving it to me. Like, this is the path. I've been so caught up on the fact that I think I fucked everything up, that I ruined my relationship with Emily, that all this, and God is never not laughing. He's never not calm and joyful and happy and full of love and patience and laughing, because there's no way to fuck up the equation. There's no way to fuck it up because it's running the way that it needs to. I'm horrified that crashing this car is gonna cause so much pain, but crashing the car is how I get to what it is that I wanted from God. Like, he's laughing because I think I destroyed everything, but the truth is I'm just taking more steps to get there. I'm the steps, not even more like I'm adding extra steps in. No, this has always been the equation that is going to get me to where it is that I need to be. I look at M, and I've been saying in the last week, 2 weeks, that it hurts that she let me go. It hurts that she moved on. It hurts that she her life is going better without me. But I look at her and I'm like, oh, my baby did it. She let go. She had enough courage to trust and to jump. And the whole time she's been telling me, I don't know what the fuck is gonna happen. I don't know what's gonna happen. I have no clue what's gonna happen. I don't know if you and I are gonna end up together or if you and I aren't gonna end up together. I don't know. I don't know. But I'm trusting this. And God told her to let go of me. God was telling her to let go of me. Um, and, you know, listening to the podcast, she was hearing the same thing with her last boyfriend. And it was just such a eye opener to me because you know she always ends up getting caught in this rut of do I stay in this relationship or should I go, and just back and forth with it until it kills her and she ends up leaving, and then once she leaves she feels better because of it, you know. And I was horrified that that was the same situation with me, but I forced that to be the same situation with me, and yet that is the perfect situation because now I look at her and the girl has grown. She's fucking grown. The last time that I saw her, when she was over here a week ago after Akuma died, I could tell there was a different person in front of me. And I kept telling her, and I think I was able to see it better than she was because she was surprised to keep hearing that. But I'm like, inside of me I wasn't telling her, but I'm like, you're not my girlfriend, you're not my girlfriend, like you are not the same Emily, you're a different Emily, you're a better off Emily, you're a smarter Emily, one that has more options and is more free, and da da da, all the things that are a knife in my heart to fucking hear, you know. um but the truth is I don't even want to say ahead of the curve because this is my curve, and she was telling me then, she's like, 2 weeks prior to that was the last time I had seen her. So 3 weeks ago, I went and I gave her a letter letting her know everything, you know. Um, and she was in a terrible place. She was in a terrible place, awful. And you know, I wasn't in a great place, but I was definitely doing better than she was. And then cut to 2 weeks later, she's here at my house and she is vibrant and she's light and she is just doing amazing and her life is going great. Like, even saying these things now is bringing up insecurity within me, you know. But she was telling me, she's like, she saw where I was, how distraught I was to lose my boy, to see her in the place that she is while I'm here still. And she was telling me, she's all like, I know where you were 2 weeks to like I know where you were because I was there 2 weeks ago. She kept telling me I was exactly where you are right now. I was here 2 weeks ago. I was here 2 weeks ago. And so that's how I know how you're feeling, how to give you empathy, how to show you love, because I was there 2 weeks ago. You saw me in it, and now I'm doing way better. And she kept telling me, she's like, "Don't worry, you'll get better. Don't worry, you'll essentially turn the curve." She wasn't saying that, but she was saying that like it will get better. Trust me, it'll get better. And she kept telling me, girl sees me. She's like, you're in hell right now, and you are in one of the darkest nights of the soul that you've probably ever been in your entire life. But trust me, once you get out of this, you're gonna feel great. And all the shit I'm not trying to hear while I'm dying on the inside, you know, that the same shit that don't nobody who's depressed want to hear. Oh, you'll get better. Oh, things will get better. Don't just give it time. You'll be fine. Like, shit, nothing I'm trying to fucking hear, you know. But here I am with perspective, and damn if she ain't right, like fucking always. Damn if she ain't right, you know. Um, I've received so much within, I'd say, the last 48 hours, truly. Um, I was really happy with the voice memo that I sent her. It was really long and whatever, but it was easy for me to make it because after watching my podcast with her, um, I was just like, man, you used to be her friend, bro. Like, her friend, like, she loved being around you. She loved to be around you because I put no pressure on her, fucking ever, fucking ever, um, ever, man. And once I got into a relationship with her, I started expecting things, and again, it's very subconsciously, I wasn't trying to force nothing, but um, the day that she broke up with me, the day before we had talked, and I essentially told her, like, it's that I made her my answer. I made her my answer to life, and being where I was, it was the truth, and I was being honest with her because that's something that I always do with everybody, but especially her. I tell her the damn truth. And the next day, she told me that we had to break up, and I mean, looking at it now, I'm like, bro, you literally told her, I expect the world of you. Emily, I expect everything from you. I expect all of it, everything. And again, it's not like I'm telling her to fix my life, but that's the expectation that I had, And so what other option does she have, regardless of how much she loves me? Not even regardless, but despite how much she fucking loves me and wants to be around me, wants to be in a relationship with me, what other option am I giving her but to break ties with me? Like, but again, I wouldn't have gotten to this point right now if it hadn't been for all of that happening, me going through all of that, and then getting to finally this point where I was able to actually let go. Because I've been trying to figure out what the hell it means, what it means to let go, what it means to drop it, Does that mean that I should stop loving her? Does that mean that I should stop talking to her? Does that mean that I should cut her off or put her in my past or forget everything about her or pretend she doesn't exist? Like, what does it mean to let go? Because letting go is supposed to be freeing. It's supposed to be, it's to me, I mean, the reason letting go the book is my Bible is because it is the answer to my life. It really is the answer to my life, is letting go. And I've been trying to work it in my brain how letting go of her is going to be a benefit to me, how losing my best friend, the girl that I love, the girl that God said I could have a future with, how letting her go is going to bring that about. Like, and so because of it, I've been holding on and holding on and holding on, and it finally worked. It finally slipped into place. And I finally got to the point. And I mean, to be honest, I wouldn't have gotten to this point had it not been for my voicemail to her, had it not been for me watching the video, had it not been for her posting what she posted, had it not been for me praying and coming to that realization that God knows what he's doing, had it not been for me listening to it all was coming down to this point. Fuck, this hole in the wall, an expression I haven't used in 6 fucking months. But now here I am, and I see it. I see it. So anyway, I sent her the message yesterday, and it was easy because I was talking to my friend again. I was like, bro, you love her. You've always loved her. You don't need to bombard her with that fact. She knows. She knows you love her. She will never forget that you love her. Like, I've been trying so hard to prove it, instead of just trusting that she gets it. Trusting that she gets it. And the same goes vice versa. Like, the more time that I spend away from her, the more I begin to question whether or not she loves me, whether or not she truly cares about me, whether or not she's starting to move on and forget about me or whatever, instead of being able to just trust the fact that she loves me. Like, so simple, but it does require faith. It requires trust. It requires letting go and not knowing what's going to happen. Which is a lot to ask of somebody who is in pain, to be honest. Like, that's a lot to ask, but here I am. And so you know, as much as it brings me comfort to talk to Em and to be around her and to hear her voice and to just get a little text from her, like it just means the world to me. It still means the world to me. I still the, the no love lost. Like that's something huge that she was trying to get through to me when we broke up, is that this is not due to lack of love. It's not because we don't love each other. That's not the reason why we're breaking up. We're not breaking up because we don't love each other. That's not why. And like to me, I'm like, yeah, but then why would you break up with me? Yeah, but then why would you break up with me? Then why would you leave me if you love me? It doesn't make no sense. But she just sees so much. God, that girl, you know. She's so fucking cool. Um, but she gets it. Like we gotta evolve. She herself has lots of things that she got to deal with, and she knows it. And I know the same for myself. But she understands that going through that accepting the pain and facing it head on, as much as it hurts, because it doesn't make it any easier. It doesn't make it any easier. She's going through the same pain I'm going through. It doesn't make it any easier that she's willingly going through it. But she understands that going through that is what's going to fix the problem, is what's going to take her to where she needs to be. And for me, that's something that I have been um, very reluctant about, very what's the word, resentful about, that's the case, you know. But now I look at her and I'm like, she let go. She's Dory, bro. She's fucking Dory. Like, she let go. She didn't know if she was gonna die or not, but she let go and she trusted, and look at where she ended up. Like, she ain't perfect. She still goes through it always, you know. But she's in a better place now, and that's because she chose to keep going sooner. Um, you know, I think back to Who Moved My Cheese, and she put her shoes on and she went into the maze herself, you know, and she started finding more things, and it was painful for her to go through that maze. Like, I saw her do it. I got a glimpse of her 3 weeks ago. I saw what she was dealing with, and fuck, like, she was dying, you know, she was dying. And I looked at that, I'm like, I don't want to fucking do that. Fuck no! I'm trying to go through that. You fucking crazy. But here I am, or I guess I would say yesterday, there I was this last week, this last little bit. Here I've been in the same exact room that has no cheese in it no more. And I am just stubborn because I refuse. I refuse to let go of the cheese that I used to have. But I asked God for better cheese. I asked Him. I prayed about it all the time in our relationship. That, you know, I asked God for what it is that I wanted. And now I'm here resentful and bitter about the fact that He's trying to give it to me. So I'm putting on my shoes too. I'm going out there. I'm leaving them alone. Like, I love her. I just can't drive it home enough. I can't drive it home enough. That I love her, and our love was really simple and really deep. And I told her even in the voicemail, like, our love became very complicated and very layered. But something that I didn't tell her, you know, that I kind of wish I had thrown in there, is that, but our love is much, much, much deeper now. Like, and there's no question about that. Our love is so much deeper now. Um, and, and that is a plus. It's a plus. It's a benefit now. But I'm gonna leave her alone. Leave her alone. Like, leave her alone because you love her. That's what I was doing during the week in Montana. I was dying without that girl. Dying. The worst week I've ever had. I'm not going back to Montana, bro. I think I made up my decision. Like, even if I'm in a better place which I definitely will be next year, I'm not going back because it's just, to be honest, not really my thing. Like, I went 2 years ago and it was really fun and I really enjoyed it and I got a lot out of it. But this time around, I was more like, I don't know. It's just not super my thing. Like, super not super my thing. I enjoy it. I enjoy being around friends and stuff. Um, but it's just, it's country music 24/7, and it's drinking and doing all these things and activities, and um, I'm like, I don't know. I'm just kind of like, maybe I don't need to go back to Montana. Maybe nobody's forcing me to go to Montana. You know what I'm saying? But on top of that, it's like it's gonna bring back painful memories because I lost my boy. I lost my boy up there. Montana is forever scarred as the place that I found out my kid died. My kid was and forever will be more important than that trip ever was. Even if that trip had been amazing and life changing and everything, like, my boy will always outweigh any fucking vacation that I was on, especially a vacation that was only causing me grief and pain and misery and sorrow. Um, I spent most of that trip crying, and and nobody knew why, because I'm not going to sit there crying around a bunch of people that are trying to have a good time. I would find my place and I would sit down and I would get my tears out as much as I could and then go back to whatever it was that I was doing. But that trip was just full of tears. And so I'm like, I don't feel like I need that no more. You know what I'm saying? Um, but anyway, back to the point that I was making, which I don't even know if I can fully remember it. All I know is I'm probably not going back to Montana. Um, but I think now's a good time to also to say that I love my baby boy. I love Akuma with all of my heart. He will never not be my first kid. Never. I miss my baby. I miss my little baby. I just am so sad I didn't get to say bye to him. I love him so much. It's my kid. But even that was so painful. And I'm like, God, why do this to me? Why? You take my girl, you take my boy, Like, what else, man? What else you got? Like, it wasn't even a shock to me. I was just like, of course, God, of course. Why not? Why wouldn't you kill my kid when I'm not there? Um, but a lot of the pain and anger that I feel is because I set the expectation that he was not going to die. I set the expectation within myself that I'm not going to lose my boy for a long, long time. It's something that I would talk to Em about all the time, that I knew when I got him, and it was part of the reason why I got him, to be honest, was because I've never dealt with losing somebody I care about dying. Has never happened. And when I got Akuma, I understood, and I essentially signed on the dotted line that, yes, I know this will be the first thing that I love that I will lose, that will die. I understand that, and so I accepted that. But over the course of the 4 years